Vortex. This is a song about desperation. Walk into the liquor store in a blizzard. Bike into Whole Foods to get an eighth of weed. And biking back in a hailstorm. But at least I got what I needed. And that was the last time I ran out of weed. I learned my lesson. Don't ever run out of weed. Passed out in a puddle of vomit after I consumed a fifth in about 15 minutes. And then my roommate had to resuscitate me, 'cause she thought that I tried to off myself, and she was probably right. And I had my stomach pumped and I woke up in ICU laughing. I guess I should have known back then that I was a comedian. And the psychiatrist, he came pay me a visit, and he asked me questions about the other drugs in my system, and I told him that I'd been smoking crack, which is crazy because that wasn't in the piss. But he was like, man, she's honest. And she's got that. Because I told him, yeah, I'm a pothead. You know I'm a pothead. But that was one of the only times that I ever lied. 'Cause I told him I ain't crazy, I'm just a drunk, I'm just a drunk. But why am I a drunk? And he wanted me to stay in the psychiatric wing. And I knew that was probably where I should go. But I wanted to drink. And they wouldn't have let me drink up there. So I ended up in rehab about a month later. And then they put me on medication. And I started smoking cigarettes. 2 packs a day. And that's when I discovered coffee. And I drink coffee to this day. But I love coffee though, it's acquired taste. And I don't feel bad drinking coffee either because it's good for you. Well, when you don't drink a whole pot at a time, it's good for you. But, you know, I was sober for about 3 years and I didn't smoke any weed, and I was on medication and I was smoking a lot of cigarettes and drinking a fuck ton of caffeine. But, oh, and shopping. Compulsively shopping. Not stealing though. That was the thing I did when I was an alcoholic. I noticed that there's a correlation. And that's how you know that drugs and alcohol are bad for you, if you have correlations with other bad behaviors. So, you know, if you're compulsively fucking people and you don't normally do that, and you're compulsively shopping or stealing shit or whatever, and that's not, it's like, it's out of character for you to do that, then yeah, that thing is probably opening up a door that, I mean, I'm glad that door was open though, because it made me realize, yeah, that door is there. You know, it's like people that think that, oh no, I would never do that. I would never do that. Like, the types of people that get on a medication and become some, like, compulsive, a lot of people will get on a lot of different types of pills, and they'll do something compulsively that they wouldn't naturally do. Like, they'll compulsively shop or gamble, or they'll just start having sex with random people, prostitute themselves, all kinds of shit. And then once they stop taking the drug, it's like they don't do that anymore. But obviously, like, yeah, that door was there, you know? So you can say, oh, the drug made me do it, the drug made me do it. Or maybe the drug made you open to that behavior. So obviously, like, there was something in your mind that you didn't realize at the time. But yeah, I would look at that like it's a very eye-opening experience rather than just blame the drug companies, because yeah, that's all too easy to do. Anyway, I don't blame the liquor companies for turning me into a slut bag. I don't blame the liquor companies for making me drink more liquor, okay? I really don't blame Zoloft either for, like, you know, turning off my emotions, or, you know, because I chose to walk into a psychiatrist's office. I chose to do that shit. And I also chose to get the fuck off my medication and smoke a fuck ton of weed, okay? So, it's like, I am very much in favor of the whole, like, be responsible for your fucking decisions, right? Be responsible for your decisions. Because if you keep blaming other people, you're never going to get anywhere with that. You know? Like, while, yes, the drug companies are evil, and all the ways that they advertise this shit on TV is just absolutely sickening. But it's like, I will never understand why people love this country so damn much, because it's like, what they love, like, the freedom that people say they love about it, like, that is what exploits all of us, you know? Like, it's mainly, like, people that do really terrible things that have freedom, you know? So they have the freedom to manipulate everybody and just see what happens. You know, it's a giant experiment. But if you know that, though, if you know that, and you really do appreciate your freedom, like, I don't hate this country, it's my country, that's fucking stupid, like, I'm born-bred American, fuck that shit. But I'm definitely not proud to live here. I'm not proud to be an American. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand pride anyway, and it's not just because of the gay shit. It's like, pride is just really stupid. If you're prideful about anything, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, motherfucker. Anyway, but, you know, the reason why I'm so prolific when it comes to this shit is because, you know, I put out art the same way that I, you know, put out liquor bottles. So, put out liquor bottles, put out packs of cigarettes, put out bags of weed. Like, yeah, dude, like, if I'm going to be compulsive about bad things, I'm definitely going to try to be compulsive about good things, too. So, I read the Bible compulsively. I definitely think compulsively. Like, I try to think good things, you know, because I'm pretty quick to realize, okay, that's a bad thought. That thought probably didn't come from me. That's intrusive as fuck. That's making me feel like shit. That's putting me in the fear frequency. That is making me feel guilty. Guilt doesn't come from God. Anybody's trying to make you feel guilty about anything, that person's probably sent from the devil, okay? Because there's a huge difference between, like, if you feel guilty about something and it makes you move in a positive direction versus if you stay hung up on that and you just feel like shit about it, you know? So, I definitely have done that. That's that reverse pride shit, you know? But, yeah. Anyway, did you like the Desperation song? I'm sure there'll be plenty more.